Get your free copy of the complete tutorial at www.teachucomp.com/free.
Using the power of Microsoft Word, you are able to create an index of entries or topics for formal papers or long documents. This process is similar to creating a table of contents. First, you mark the subjects or topics to reference in the index. Then compile the index in much the same way that you created the table of contents. You can create multiple sub-entries and even cross-reference entries in your index. Start by clicking the References tab in the ribbon. In the References tab, you use the buttons that appear in the Index button group to mark your text and create the index. First, you must learn how to mark text or a range of pages for inclusion in the index. To include a word or phrase, you can select the word or phrase to include from the text within your document, and then click the Mark Entry button that appears in the Index button group on the References tab in the ribbon. That will open the Mark Index Entry dialog box. If you selected text from your document, it will appear in the Main Entry text box. If you did not select any text, then type the entry to make into the Main Entry text box. In the Sub-Entry text box, you can enter an index entry that falls under the more general index entry above if needed. To create a third-level entry, you can simply type the sub-entry into the sub-entry box, followed by a colon symbol, followed by the third-level index entry. In the Options section, you choose how to present the index entry. To create a cross-reference, choose that option, and then enter the text for the cross-referenced index entry after the word C in the adjacent text box. To make a straightforward index entry, you would instead choose the Current Page option in the Options section. To format the page numbering used for a normal index entry, you can check either or both the bold or italic checkboxes in the Page Number Format section. At that point, to mark only the currently selected text as an index entry, click the Mark button. To mark all occurrences of the selected text within the entire document, click the Mark All button instead. This will insert the index entry field or fields into the selected location or locations in your document. Notice that this dialog box will remain open after marking the text, so you can continue marking text entries without having to close and reopen the dialog box repeatedly. To make a multi-page index reference, the process is a bit different. First, select the range of text to include as a multi-page reference. Then click the Bookmark button that appears in the Links button group on the Insert tab in the ribbon to open the Bookmark dialog box. A bookmark is a reference to a section of text. In the bookmark name, type a name for the bookmark. The name cannot contain spaces, but it may contain letters and numbers. Then click the Add button to add the bookmark to the list shown in this dialog box. Next, click into the document at the end of the text that you just set as a bookmark. Click the Mark Entry button in the Index button group on the References tab in the ribbon. Set the index entry for the marked text as normal. However, this time, choose the Page Range option button in the Options section of the dialog box, and then select the name of the bookmark you just created from the adjacent drop-down. Make any other settings as desired, and then click the Mark button to mark the page range entry. After marking the index entries for inclusion, click into your document at the position where you want to insert the index. Then click the Insert Index button that appears in the Index button group on the References tab of the ribbon to open the Index dialog box and display the Index tab. Here you can set the appearance of the index that will be created. In the Print Preview section at the top of the dialog box, you will see a preview of how the index would appear when printed. To the right of the preview, you will see the type options, indented or run-in. Select the style that you prefer. Below that, enter the number of columns you want the index to display. Below the preview, you can check the Right Align Page Numbers checkbox to right align the page numbers in your index if desired. If you choose to right align the page numbers, then select the type of leader to use from the Tab Leader drop-down. You can select a different format to use for your index by choosing a different selection from the Formats drop-down. Once you have made your formatting selections in the Index dialog box, just click the OK button at the bottom of the dialog box to insert the index into your document. The index in Word, just like the table of contents, is actually a field. Like all fields, you can toggle the display of the field code between the index's contents and its field display by clicking into the index and then pressing the Shift plus F9 keys on your keyboard to toggle the view.
Like what you see? Pick up your free copy of the complete tutorial at www.teachucomp.com/free.